Let's face it, content creation can feel like a gigantic time suck, but it's the basis to establish preeminence around you and your practice in your community. So if you're wondering how we take a single piece of content and turn it into multiple touch points, turn it into content for an entire week in about 3 hours, then this video is for you. So what we do at Big Boost is we take a single video that goes on YouTube, that turns into a blog post, that turns into our email newsletter for the week, as well as status updates across all the social media platforms, from Facebook, your Facebook group, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it. But that one piece of content turns into about 50 touch points across the course of the week. And I can tell you from personal experience that once you do this, this definitely creates preeminence. This gets you known in your community. And because you have enough repetition around this one piece of content, people are finally catching up what you're doing. It's not about switching every day to a new topic, go from here to there to over there. It's like there's a consistent theme across the course of the week, which makes creating the content a lot easier, a lot faster, and it benefits your audience because they finally now have a little consistent theme over a few days. So if they don't catch up with your content on day 1 or day 2, there's multiple reminders to do so. And if you want to go deeper with this, I encourage you to download our step-by-step outline of this process. Also, we include a list of the recommended video equipment that you need, that we use, as well as a suggested script outline, what you may use for your videos. And also, we're providing this as a standalone service for integrative practitioners like you. So if that has you intrigued, be sure to reach out to explore what that looks like. So before we get into the details of our 5-step process, I want to talk about educational and content marketing and define that for you and why it's so important for you in your practice. So unless prospects know who you are and how your services can really help them address the health challenges that they face, they have to first understand what it is, right? They're not going to hand over $3,000 to $5,000 to you to initiate care with you unless they know what you can help them with. And that's why running Facebook ads to cold audiences is not going to work. It works for situations where you're selling a commodity. Acupuncture, chiropractic care, massages. People know what the product or service is and they make their decision based on cost and convenience. And so in those cases, yes, you can run a Facebook ad to a discounted offer and see good conversion on that. But when it comes to integrative, naturopathic and functional medicine, people have no idea what it is that you do and how that approach may be more suitable for their chronic health issues. And so this is why educational content marketing is the only form of marketing that really works, because you educate the consumer, you give first, and it's only once they are an informed customer that they are then able to take the decision to start working with you. So here's how that 5-step process looks like. All right, step number 1 is to decide on a weekly theme. And so you want to map this out in advance, probably for 8 to 12 weeks, so that you know what you're going to cover in each week. And you want to decide if that content is really aligning with what we call pillar blog posts. So foundational pieces of content on your website that really help a visitor to decide that you are the expert that can help them. So in those videos, we're going to talk about the UMP and the UMS as I discussed in previous videos. And so make a list of what you consider your pillar blog posts, and that is where you draw your ideas from for your weekly theme. You can then also poll your audience on social media and ask them, what is it that you want me to cover in more detail? And so you can take that into consideration. Plus, you constantly keep a running list of ideas that you want to cover, that you see other colleagues maybe cover, and you're saying, okay, this is a good idea. I can adjust that concept to something in my niche. And then finally, the way you do this, once you have the list of those weekly themes, turn them into real title of like, how is the blog post actually called? How do you call that video on YouTube? You then decide on what content upgrades or lead magnets you want to include. The idea behind doing social media and having blogs is actually that those readers actually turn into subscribers to your email list. So each blog post has to have some call to actions at the end to get people to opt in. And so that could be join my Facebook group, watch my evergreen webinar, download my lead magnet on XYZ. So you want to know, or sign up for a strategy session. So you want to know ahead of producing the content, what is my call to action? How do I get people from that blog post onto my mailing list? So that's step number 2 that you're going to decide. And then the last step in this first part is really mapping out the list of talking points that you're going to cover in your video. And so I can show you what this looks like for this particular video. I just have written down step number 1 is deciding on the weekly themes, and then I have a number of bullet points that allow me to talk about this in the video, but I'm not writing out a full script. So step number 2 is recording the actual video, and we'll want to do this in batch mode. So it's not that you're doing video production each and every week and essentially produce one video at a time, but the idea is to do batch mode processing. That's what really unlocks efficiency. And so you set aside one day, one half afternoon to shoot the 4 videos. You loosely follow the talking points that you outlined before, and you're not recording the video in one go. So you're just recording sections at a time. So you record the introduction separately, then you record the bridge, then you talk about step 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And so you don't have to memorize the script, you just look at the talking points for that actual segment that you're talking about, and then you ad-lib this. So it's not like you're following a very scripted outline, you just follow what you would say to a regular patient that sits across from you. And so if you want to get that script outline for integrative naturopathic and functional medicine practitioners, be sure to click the link below this video and download that. So step number 3 is to produce the weekly videos, and this is where our team takes over. So for me as a content creator, all I did is I decided on the weekly themes, the talking points, and I recorded the video, and that's it. So now the team takes over and they post-process the video and create different versions. You know, one version for YouTube that's rectangular, there's a square version for Facebook, and then there's a vertical version for Instagram TV. And so again, the team handles that. They do the transcript through ref.com. They create the quote cards, the thumbnails. They create the blog post outline with the transcript and the lead magnets, and they put the video on YouTube and set up the description, keywords, etc. So there's a lot of stuff that happens in the intervening space, but you as the lead practitioners don't have to really deal with this. This is taken care of by an outsourced team. And so this is what allows our team to be very efficient, because we're doing 4 videos at a time. So it's not like we're doing this each and every week and each and every day. It's like, okay, they spend one day producing the videos, getting the transcript, setting up YouTube, the blog post, crafting the foundations for the email newsletter, etc. So that when I come back in step 4, I can just fine tune the things that I need to do that the team can't do, and then go from there. So step number 4 is to write the blog and the social media post. And again, this is something that's not easy to outsource. So my team has now provided me with all the ingredients that I need to be really efficient at this. And again, I'm doing this in batch mode for 4 blog posts. So the team has already set up the blog post on my WordPress with a transcript, has already added a section with the next steps, and those are the lead magnets, like sign up for my webinar, join our Facebook group, sign up for a strategy session, or download the lead magnet. So they have already taken care of this, and all I have to do is take the transcript and my talking points from the video to craft a blog post. So it takes me about maybe 20 to 30 minutes per blog post, and then I create the status updates for social media. So I copy certain sections from the blog post and make that the foundation for the social media update, and then just add an introduction and a call to action in front and after that content section, maybe modulate the text a little bit. And the call to action is simply to go deeper on this, check out my latest blog post and watch the video on XYZ, right? So we're constantly pushing them from social media back into the blog post, and it's very easy to create 5-6 status updates with just a copy for social media, because I'm just copying, pasting, and I'm staying in the zone. I'm not trying to think about a new angle for each and every day. So again, that I spent maybe half an hour or 20 to 30 minutes for each weekly post. to craft the social media. So again, another 2-3 hours of time. So this now brings us to step number 5, scheduling and promoting the content. So typically we post a teaser video on Instagram stories on Monday, alluding to the upcoming video on Tuesday. Tuesday morning, the blog goes live, the YouTube video goes live, the email goes out, the email newsletter goes out to our list announcing that we have a new video and blog post. And then status updates for social media go out over the rest of the week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have different snippets of social media content going out. Again, all driving back to that blog post, but they use either images or quote cards to allude to this. Typically, we also send a second email on Saturdays to the list, again, reminding them of the blog post and mentioning a couple of other things that are maybe relevant. And then it's rinse and repeat. So the big part of this is you can't just create a blog post and not promote it. That's sort of one of the biggest mistakes that I see, that you spend all the time creating something but then nobody sees it, right? So the promotion part is vitally important. And again, this is something where you as an integrative medicine practitioner, it's not up to you. You don't have to do this. There's other people that can do this on your behalf. So as long as you create the video and write the blog post, then the team can take over from there and handle all the other logistics. And that is the service that we're providing to integrative medicine practitioners. So if you're interested in this, check the link below this video to learn more how that would look like for you. So as a recap, this is the process that we're using to turn a single piece of content, a YouTube video, into about 50 touch points across the course of the week to get your content seen. And as long as you stay consistent with this process, it's actually very doable. Half an afternoon to create the ideas and the talking points for the videos, half an afternoon to shoot the videos, and then half an afternoon to create the blog post and the social media updates. And that is now the foundation for a consistent educational content marketing approach that positions you as the expert that you are. It provides you with enough preeminence so that you are top of mind whenever your prospective patients need you. So keep your comments and questions coming. I'd love to answer this. Also, be sure to tag a practitioner that needs to see this video. And if you haven't already, download my script outline for integrative naturopathic and functional medicine practitioners on what you want to say in your videos, how you want to structure the videos, as well as the step-by-step outline of this process. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Simply click the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified whenever new content goes live, typically on Tuesdays. And I'll see you in the next video.